Tonight, in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television, we come back to the weekend's decision by the SDF to suspend the Littoral Bureau, which has left several party officials here in the economic capital Douala divided. It is democracy to some and total manipulation to others. Also ahead, the case pitting Assimi Menye, Cameroon's former Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, and the state opens at the Special Criminal Court in his absence. Plus, we take you to the Bakassi Peninsula in the southwest region of the country, where girls as young as 10 and even 12 are tools for marriage. Close to 50% of them are victims. Stay with us. Good evening to you, televiewers. We welcome you back from the weekend. You're watching the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. We thank you so much for joining us. Cameroon's deposed Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Assimi Menye, failed to show up at the Special Criminal Court today in Yaoundé, where his embezzlement case was supposed to take place. It was the first time that the case of the former minister was being heard ever since his departure from the country. Assimi Menye was authorized a few months ago to leave the country for treatment abroad. What problem does he actually have with the court? Roland Akon attempts an answer.
The Special Criminal Court in Yaoundé, it is alleged, wants Assimi Menye to account for 9 billion francs CFA, money which was reportedly snatched when he was charged with restructuring the Amity Bank after liquidation. Assimi Menye has been grilled twice at the Special Criminal Court over the matter, and we learned he all along denied any wrong. He once disclosed that the Amity Bank never had such a huge amount. October was a very particular month for the former minister. He took ill and was admitted October 2 in a Yaoundé hospital. October 9, he was sacked from the government. October 24, October 16, he was denied evacuation for treatment abroad and was finally granted October 24 when Mama Fuda wrote to the head of state on the state of the health of Assimi Menye. Assimi Menye left Cameroon December 1 for treatment, and since then he has not returned. He has been spotted in other businesses abroad, at the IMF, where the statistician is advisor on agri affairs in Africa. We are here to confirm allegations that an international arrest warrant has been issued on Assimi Menye. We can't also confirm reports on social media where he is saying he was allowed to leave Cameroon because he has threatened to expose financial skeletons hidden in cupboards in Cameroon if he is brought to book.
Can we now say that the long-standing squabble rocking the SDF in the littoral region has been partially settled? The bureau piloting the activities of the SDF in the littoral region has been suspended, and the putting in place of an interim team announced by the party's chairman. This is just one of the fallouts of the NEC meeting which took place at the weekend. Let us come back to the major resolutions in the following report. The July 30th NEC meeting of the Social Democratic Front, which was aimed at reorganizing some structures of the party, was an opportunity to have the official stance of the party's first vice chair after widespread allegations of how he may succeed Nijon Frundi at the helm of the Social Democratic Front. Joshua Osei, who was reacting on the issue for the first time, described newspaper reports on a possibility of him being a successor of Nijon Frundi as mere distraction. He added that jeopardizing his relationship with the chairman of the SDF, Nijon Frundi, is total waste of time. The gathering of the Social Democratic Front Saturday saw the suspension of the entire littoral bureau of the party, and plans to appoint an interim team was equally announced. This decision is coming after several party supporters in the littoral region have criticized some party heads for monopolizing power and refusing to reorganize elections. The party of Nijon Frundi also took time to question the need for donating 500,000 computers to university students by the president, when constructing a computer manufacturing plant in the country could be less costly and beneficial. The government was equally criticized over the epileptic medical system, bad roads, lack of potable water and electricity at the NEC meeting. Nijon Frundi, who described the incarcerated former Ivorian president Laurent Gbagbo as a true brother with whom he shares a common goal, said that the SDF has launched a petition for his release. He also said that any decision taken by the International Criminal Court at The Hague would be void of legitimacy and that justice should be given a chance. His outing on Laurent Gbagbo is coming after dozens of witnesses appeared at the court to testify against his leadership. Let us come back to the sanctions slammed on the regional bureau and its president here in the littoral region, which has left some party officials here in the economic capital Douala divided. The sanction is qualified as a victory of democracy by some, and to others the handiwork of the opponents of the littoral regional president of the Social Democratic Front, Jean-Michel Ninchu. Let's have the details with our reporter Babla Jonathan.
Discipline and the non-respect of rules governing the Social Democratic Front SDF political party are some of the reasons highlighted to back the sanction slammed on the Jean-Michel Ninchu-led regional bureau by the National Executive Committee. Besides these reasons, some have attributed the sanction to power tussle between candidates for the regional presidency. It is not Ninchu who was suspended, but the entire regional bureau, because we were in a period of competition and his actions on the field were badly interpreted, considering that he is one of the candidates to the regional presidency. So his opponents asked the National Executive Committee to make sure that all candidates go into the election on a leveled ground.
Le président régional sortant s'est octroyé le droit de convoquer une conférence de circonscription électorale.
The outgoing regional president summoned a district electoral conference instead of the special commission mandated by the NEC to reorganize grassroots organs in the littoral. This was an act of indiscipline not acceptable by the NEC. That is why the former regional president was sanctioned.
Le SDF a pris donc la résolution de sanctionner le président régional.
One of the candidates in the Littoral Regional Bureau election, Celestin Jamen, considers the sanction as a proof of democracy in the SDF.
Il faut fêter.
We have to celebrate the victory of democracy in the SDF. We have the proof that the SDF upholds not just party discipline, but also strict respect of democratic principles.
Strict des principes statutaires et donc démocratiques.
The National Executive Committee also cancelled the grassroots organ reorganization election organized by the Ninchu-led team in the Douala 1 municipality. The grassroots organ election in Douala 1 was cancelled because the commission in charge of reorganizing the littoral was not represented, and so the NEC thought that the organization of the election did not respect rules of the party. Meantime, the race to the littoral regional presidency of the Social Democratic Front is on the rail, with Jean-Michel Ninchu as one of the three candidates as of now.
And in the second part of this newscast, we'll be talking further about the resolutions of the NEC meeting which took place in the northwest region of the country. It would be with a former MP of the Social Democratic Front and also a shadow cabinet member. Now, 15 players of Dynamo Football Club have been injured with 2 under intensive medical care after they were involved in a ghastly road accident which occurred along the Edeya-Yaoundé stretch of road at the weekend. The players and staff of Dynamo FC were returning from a second division encounter in Bamayo of the Central region of Cameroon, and Irayo has the details.
After suffering a 1-0 defeat from the hands of Colombe FC in a League 2 game, the players and staff of Dynamo FC have been plunged into further sadness. On their way back from Bamayo, the bus transporting the players bumped into a police stationed truck along the road. 15 of them were injured, with 2 in a critical state.
Que les hauts responsables sont arrivés, on a transporté avec une ambulance médicalisée les 2 patients dont je vous parle.
The accidents, which occurred at about 1 a.m. Sunday morning, saw some of the victims taken to the Edeya District Hospital, while the 2 critical cases were taken to the Douala Military Hospital in Bonanjo.
Patient, one who is more serious than others, and we send it in the reanimation. We are going to set up a lot of exam. First of all, scanner, who are going to tell us the real lesion, and we are going to give you the report every 3 or 4 hours, because you know that they just came in our hospital now. We are taking care of them, and we hope that everything are going to be good. But there are one who is more serious than other.
The unfortunate accident also impeded on a planned training session for the Dynamo guys this Monday. Teammates and staff are still too shocked to make any public declarations, as attempts to get either the president of Dynamo Football Club or the team coach, who is also hospitalized on phone, proved futile. For now, Kalis Juisseux and Paul Bassong, the two who were critically injured, are still in hospital receiving medical attention.
We take you now to Chang of the west region of the country to find out what parents actually think about the notion of holiday classes. To some of them, they are arguing that classes helps to spare children, or the classes actually help to spare children from bad company and delinquents, especially during this period of the holidays, while others hold that it is actually time for the children to rest. Our reporter Jack Ekwekinge has the details.
In the heart of the month of July, obviously holidays period for pupils and students in Cameroon, but the reverse seems to be true in the town of Chang in the west region, as the street get busy during this period with children going for holiday classes.
I've chosen to do English vacation because I wanted to learn more, to know more about things that I don't know, and to be more intelligent in school.
With the holiday classes getting into high gear in this part of the west region, parents have opted for this form of holidays for their children because of diverse reasons, as explained by some organizers of holiday classes. We organize these holiday classes to abreast the children with knowledge of their new classes for the next academic year, and also to spare them from joining bad companies, and also to give time to their parents to rest. Nonetheless, some parents are not of this opinion, as they argue that this period is meant for children to have a proper rest after 9 months of intensive book work. As a child goes to school, it's just like going to work during these 9 months of schooling. These 3 months of holidays, the child needs to relax, to go to diverse holiday activities organized to entertain children, so as to enable the brain to rest and to think of other things rather than book work. Rather, on the contrary, some parents think these holiday classes can also help to get a child out of bad company and spare him from delinquent behavior.
Juste que pendant les vacances, les enfants se trouvent généralement dans des groupes de délinquants, se retrouvent en train de fumer de la drogue.
All the same, the rhythm of the holiday classes are not the same during the ordinary school period. With just 4 hours of learning period per day, the child still has ample time to do other activities during this period.
We now take you to the country's political capital, Yaoundé, where activities to mark the National Breastfeeding Week opened today in that part of Cameroon. Medical officials in Yaoundé have underscored the need for mothers to breastfeed their children exclusively. They say that exclusive breastfeeding, intensive breastfeeding, is not only healthy for the children, but it equally protects them from infection and permits them to grow normally. They were speaking, as I indicated, on the sidelines of the National Breastfeeding Week, which started today in the town of Yaoundé. Let's now have an excerpt of one of the medical experts, Dr. Esther Tala. She was speaking to Roland Akong.
The breast milk is the best food for the baby. Naturally, the baby's digestive tract is adapted to digest the mother's milk, not cow's milk. Even though we have lots of them that have been martinized, like it is indicated, but there are also other inconveniences. You have to spend money that more often than not people don't have that money to spend, so they go into all malpractices. Whereas breast milk alone is sufficient up to 6 months of age. intensive exclusive breastfeeding, which simply means only the breast milk and on demand when baby wants to breastfeed. No question of programming and timing. The baby will breastfeed every 2 hours or every 3 hours. No, it's exclusive, intensive, 24 hours. Sorry for the mamas, but it's during a period. Later on, the baby starts sleeping more at night. But the baby needs to have the breast milk in order to grow normally. And the breast milk protects the baby from infections. Like we had some mothers give us feedback in the villages when we went around, worked with them to promote breastfeeding. They came back and they said, oh, I had my healthiest baby when I did exclusive intensive breastfeeding. In the past, my babies were always ill. And the first time that I did exclusive intensive, I had my healthiest baby.
Now, as we announced in the headlines, child marriage is on a steady rise in the Bakassi Peninsula of the southwest region of Cameroon. Reports say that some children are married to their husband at birth. Close to 50% of young girls are affected. As you tell us, Derek Jato.
The Bakassi people are living with a health-destroying tradition.
The problem for we here is bad, because they bring our children early death.
Girls are forced into early marriages.
It's a negative practice that will not help the Isangele community to grow.
Reach Out Cameroon, a southwest non-governmental organization, recently came out with her research results on the prevalence rate.
In March 2016, we conducted a baseline study to know the situation of child marriage in these communities. And the results show that the prevalence rate is almost double that of the region, like the southwest region, which stands at 42%, contrary to that of the region, which is at 28%.
Here in Bakassi, children are even dedicated to their would-be husband at birth.
As early as somebody is delivered, is dedicated to somebody.
Platforms have been organized in the past by Reach Out Cameroon on how this targeted age group can say no to the practice. Mr. Ngwa Elvis is the head of Gender and Capacity Building Department of the organization.
The girls consider that most of their parents, they put priority on male child education, and they can only go to school if the boy child refuses to go to school. Secondly, they talk about empowerment of the girls. They don't have empowerment programs like access to information on sexual and reproductive health.
And today, parents, group leaders, administrators and local authorities are converging on Isangele subdivision here in Bakassi to be schooled by Reach Out Cameroon why they must end child marriage now. They were also educated that the practice is an offense before the law.
We want the parents and the authorities to know the criminal aspect of child early and forced marriage and other related offenses.
At the end of the 2 days advocacy meeting, the awareness and sensitization campaign was already reflecting with the hashtag End Child Marriage Now.
And that brings us to the end of this first segment of the news. Up next is Talking Point. Good evening to you once again, ladies and gentlemen. The neck hits hard on the Littoral Regional Bureau of the Social Democratic Front, slamming it an indefinite suspension. The decision is one of the major fallouts of the meeting of the Social Democratic Front that took place at the Ntarikun residence of the chairman of the principal opposition political party in Cameroon. Amongst the series of resolutions, we are going to focus tonight on the suspension of the SDF Littoral Regional Bureau with former MP of the said political party and a shadow cabinet minister, Mr. Evariste Fopusi. We thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good evening, ma'am.
I should thank you once again for coming. What could have prompted the Social Democratic Front to take such a decision, the sanction that has been placed on the Littoral Regional Bureau of the party?
First of all, madam, let me make a precision. As a NEC member, I don't have to comment a NEC decision. You see, I can only explain the context where the decision has been taken, so I cannot comment it.
So tell us the context under which this decision was taken.
You know, we have our convention in less than 5 months, in next February, you know, and all the party structure should be reorganized before that convention. And we noticed that in the littoral, the NEC commission put in place to fulfill the job has a lot of difficulty to fulfill his tasks. And among those difficulties, there's what we can call a weak collaboration with the littoral structure. And this non-collaboration is letting the NEC committee be too late in its duty in the littoral. So it is only to shorten this, to put an end of this situation that NEC have decided.
Meaning that there has been a lot of indiscipline at the level
I don't know whether it's
SDF in the littoral regional bureau.
Maybe it's only an understanding. You see, so it's not sure that it's an indiscipline, but there is no enough collaboration between.
But why now? It has taken a long time for the NEC to be able to take such a decision to call the tension rocking the SDF, because we see there are factions.
Because I'm telling you, as I'm telling you, we are narrowed our convention in next February, and we should do all to let this the littoral team finish its job. That's it's only to facilitate this duty that the NEC has had to this team to go stronger and
further with this
activity in order to be ready in February, and to let Littoral be ready in February.
Now tell us about the sanction and how long it may possibly last.
During the period of reorganization,
because the NEC meeting was talking about the putting in place of an interim bureau. For how long is it going to
finish
last?
the reorganization, that's all. It's only to finish this reorganization.
And when they will
finish the reorganization, they will organize another a new election to put in place a new regional team in Littoral, and the job will be finished at that time. So, and that job will take an end before the convention, that is next February. So it's only within this short time that they have to finish their job. Only they are not there to run the party. They are there to finish their duty, their job. The job.
So when would this interim bureau be put in place by the SCF?
Is a team who is supposed to reorganize the Littoral. Is a team led by Honorable Tsumilu, Senator Tsumilu, and is composed of at least 5 or 6 people. So they will try to accelerate the reorganization of the local structure, mainly the districts, so that before December they should be organizing the regional election to put in place a new bureau, and when they will put in place that bureau, their job will have been finished at that time, and the new bureau will continue to run the party in the Littoral.
The new bureau, which is highly awaited.
To some,
it is
what we can notice is that
democracy has been put in place in the Littoral region.
No,
as far as the SDF is concerned.
Democracy is still functioning inside the SDF. It is not only now. It is because we are a democratic party that we behave.
Do you think every supporter of the SDF in the Littoral share that view, that there's democracy within the SDF in the Littoral region?
That is true democracy. I have no pretension to say that all the militants are sharing the same view like me, but I'm trying to, as a NEC member, I'm trying to explain you in which context and why NEC took that decision. That's all. I'm not asking people to share my point of view. I'm only trying to
Commenting
explain what happened in Bamenda last weekend.
On what happened in Bamenda, one of the major resolutions there was talking about the release of the incarcerated former president of Ivory Coast, Laurent
Yes, it was a
Gbagbo.
motion.
How far
It was a
can
motion.
the SDF go with this petition?
No, we only signed the petition in order to show the world that Mr. Gbagbo is illegally detained in that court. And we're only joining a global move. We started last year, and the SDF is joining this move, and the SDF action is led personally by the chairman Nijan Front, who was the first to sign this resolution, and we will let all Cameroonians sign it in order to prove the world that Mr. Gbagbo is illegally detained and that he should be free as soon as possible.
Let's just see how far the SDF can go with the petition. We thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight on Talking Point.
Thank you, madam.
We hope to have you some other time again, as usual. To our televiewers, we thank you as well for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Wishing you a blessed day in the company of our programs. Until we meet again, goodbye.